Copyrights. Some of you have learned about copyrights in other courses, and so copyrights to photography is very, very much the same. Copyright is a legal form of protection for any original artwork expressed in a tangible form. So typically, copyrights last for 70 years from the end of the year in which the photographer dies. And so what we see happening is a lot of copyright infringement. Now here's the question that a lot of people ask. You have a lot of old photos in your family. Have you ever thought if they are copywritten? So the consequence of this lengthy period of existence, 70 years beyond the death of the photographer, the consequence here is that many family photographs, these photos here have no market value, but they have some emotional value to the family. They remain subject to copyright even when the original photographer cannot be traced or has given up on photography, is no longer a professional photographer, or has died, which we call a copyright orphan. So in the absence of a license, it would be an infringement of copyright to copy them. So scanning in old family photos like I did here, these are my family photos. They're taken from the early 1900s, probably about 1912. That's about when those were taken. So scanning in these old family photos to a digital file like I did for personal use, which as I did, is called prima facie, which at first appearance an infringement of copyright. So I may have broken copyrights by scanning these family photos in. Interesting. No one's ever really thought about that. I don't know who the original photographer is. They are family photos. My family owns them. But who knows if somebody else has copyrights to them still. So the thought is, well, any photo taken before 1925, 1926 is now in public domain. That is not the case. That's not true. So ownership of a photo is not the same thing as ownership of copyrights. So it's something to think about if you're working especially with a client and they just say, hey, we can use these, and not even thinking twice about it. You might want to say, well, we should probably check into that just to make sure. So copyright registration. I would like you to watch a video from Kelby TV. Scott Kelby is a really popular photographer. He was big into Photoshop and really kind of merged into the photography world. The video talks about copyright registration, and so I really encourage you guys to watch it here, located in this week's lesson. Copyright registration, when your copyright has formally been registered, you are entitled then up to $150,000 per infringement plus the attorney fees. So to register, now this registration fee changes often, so you really want to go out to the copyright.gov website to see what the current rate is. At the time of this, it was $35 per application if you register online, or $50 per application if you send in a hard copy. Something to think about if you have some photos that you'd like to copyright. Now, you still own the copyrights to them, even though you don't register them, but it does not hold up or stand up in the court of law. So if you find that somebody has used your photo without your consent, that would be infringement. But you're not able to gain any monetary value for that unless you have registered with the U.S. Copyright Office.